I want to take you on a journey across Africa, a place full of color, energy, and history. Africa is the second largest continent. But did you know that it's so big that it can fit the United States, the China, the India, and most of Europe inside it? It's also where scientists believe the first humans lived, which is why it's called the cradle of humanity. Let's explore its land, people, nature, and stories together.
This is a map of Africa, showing all the countries, oceans, and land features. Africa is the second largest continent in the world. It's surrounded by the Mediterranean Sea to the north, an Atlantic to the west, and the Indian Ocean to the east. The map shows mountains, deserts like the Sahara, rainforests, and rivers like the Nile. Each country is marked with its names and borders, helping us see just how big and diverse really Africa is.
Now, let's proceed to the history and colonization. Africa's modern history changed when Europeans arrived in the 1400s. The Portuguese were first. But by the 1800s, the scramble for Africa began. By 1914, 90% of Africa was controlled by European countries like Britain, France, Belgium, and Germany. Borders were drawn without asking African people, splitting tribes and mixing rivals. One real-life example for that is the Berlin Conference in 1884, where European leaders divided Africa like a cake, without a single African leader present. After World War II, countries fought for their freedom. Ghana was the first to gain independence in 1957. But even today, Africa still deals with the conflicts and economic problems caused by colonization. Now let's proceed to the land, geography, and climate. Africa's land is amazing. The Sahara Desert is so huge that it's about the size of the United States. In contrast, Africa also has lush rainforests, grassy savannas, and high mountains. The Great Rift Valley is one of the most dramatic land features on Earth. It's so big that you can see it from the space. Africa has no giant mountain chains like Asia, but it does have Mount Kilimanjaro, the highest peak in Africa at 19,340 feet. In addition to that, climate in Africa changes slowly from wet near the equator to dry in the deserts. Some places only get 6 inches of rain per year, while others flood during the rainy season. Now, let's proceed to rivers and natural resources. Africa's rivers are powerful and important. The Nile River runs over 4,000 miles from Uganda to Egypt and helped build ancient Egyptian civilization. The Congo River is so strong that it could power the electricity needs of most of Central Africa, but only a small part is used. Africa has amazing natural riches: the gold, the diamonds, the oil, copper, uranium, and more. For example, is the Democratic Republic of Congo. So, it has over 60% of the world's cobalt, which is used in smartphone and electric car batteries. But much of Africa's resources are exported raw. They are processed in other countries, so Africa doesn't get the full value. Let's proceed to people, languages, and religion of Africa. Africa is home to over 1,400 different ethnic groups. In Nigeria alone, there are over 250 tribes. Some well-known groups include the Yoruba, Zulu, Maasai, and Igbo. The Maasai of Kenya and Tanzania are famous for their red robes and tall jumping dances. Also, African languages are rich and diverse. There are over 1,000 spoken today. Some even use click sounds, like Khoisan languages. Beside local languages, many people also speak English, French, Arabic, or Portuguese due to colonization. Religions are just as diverse. Islam is strong in the north, Christianity is growing in the south, and many people still follow traditional beliefs like ancestor worship. In addition to that, Africa has more languages than any continent. Take note of that. So now, we're proceeding to wildlife and environment. Africa's animals are world famous. The elephants, lions, giraffes, rhinos, and zebras all live in the wild here. But these animals are endangered. Poaching for ivory and horse has made rhinos nearly extinct in some areas. Many forests are also being cut down for farming or firewood. Places like Kruger National Park in South Africa and Serengeti in Tanzania are working hard to protect animals. These parks also help local people by bringing tourists and creating jobs. A real-life example for that is one elephant tusk can sell for thousands of dollars on the black market. This is why poaching is still a big issue in today's generation. Africa is a young continent. Almost half of its people are under 15 years old. And that's a big challenge, but also a big opportunity. With education, healthcare, and good leaders, Africa can grow fast. Today, many young Africans are creating apps, starting farms, and building local businesses. For example, in Kenya, a mobile money app called M-Pesa helps millions of people pay bills and save money without a bank. Africa's future depends on how well it uses its resources and invests in its people. In conclusion, Africa is not just one story. It's not just about deserts, wild animals, or poor villages like you might see on TV. There is so much more. Africa is alive with stories, colors, music, and dreams. It is a place where over 1 billion people live. People who speak different languages, wear different clothes, eat different foods, and believe in different faiths. In some parts, you'll find ancient traditions and dancing under the stars. In other places, you'll see modern cities with tall buildings, Wi-Fi, and people creating new ideas with technology. Africa has rich history. It's where the first humans ever lived. But it also has a bright future, with young people who are smart, creative, and full of hope. Yes, Africa has struggles, but it also has strength, beauty, kindness, and courage. So today, I hope you've seen that Africa is not just one thing. It's not just a one place on a map. It's a continent full of life, full of heart, and full of stories, waiting to be heard.